In the third quarter of 2021, the Malaysian economy contracted by 4.5%. This reflected the impact from strict containment measures in July, weighing on consumption and investment activity. This more than offset the continued expansion in public sector consumption spending. However, monthly GDP estimates show that the impact of containment measures taper as restrictions were eased in a phased manner throughout the quarter. On the external front, net export contracted as growth in import outpaced the growth in export. On a seasonally adjusted quarter-on-quarterly basis, GDP declined by 3.6%. On the supply side, all sectors experienced slower economic activity in the third quarter. The manufacturing sector contracted marginally due to continued implementation of strict containment measures in July in most states, restricting activities to essential and global value chains. The phased lockdowns during the quarter have also affected the services sector, especially the consumer-related activities. For the construction sector, activities were constrained by operating capacity limit imposed under the various phases of National Recovery Plan. In the mining sector, production of both crude oil and natural gas were lower during the quarter, attributed mainly to several facilities closures for maintenance purposes. The agriculture sector declined further, driven mainly by weak oil palm production as harvesting activity was affected by prolonged labor shortage. On the demand side, growth was weighed by contraction in private consumption and investment activities. Private consumption declined as movement restriction had impacted spending in both necessity and discretionary items during the quarter. However, various policy measures, including the APF ICNR and ICITRA withdrawal, as well as Bantuan Khas COVID-19 BKC, continue to provide support to households. Similarly, private investment declined as firm limited operating capacity had affected the realization of investment projects, particularly for structured investment. Public investment contracted due to lower capital spending by both general government and public corporation. Meanwhile, public consumption expanded at more moderate pace contributed by slower growth in emolument and remain robust growth in health-related supply and services. For net export, while both export and import growth moderated, the pace of import growth was moderated following the continuing expansion in intermediate import and a positive turnaround in capital import.